Morning, Wildcat Nation. Thanks for joining us again for this Tuesday morning News and 9 Cents. Tom's not here. Tom, if you're watching, we know you don't like the camera. We know you're dissatisfied with the camera arrangement, but you're not here. So.
He's probably not watching.
Text me, Tom. I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Just tell me what to do.
Tell me what to do.
We'll figure it out. Good morning. How are you guys? You good?
I am good. How are you guys? I'm happy to be back.
I'm
Happy back.
Happy to be back.
So far, 2021, not a fan. So it's been a week since we've been here, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
that's funny because there was
a couple weeks since I've been here.
Yeah, there was.
Last week, like, hey, it's a new year. Here we go.
Yeah,
I knew that was false. I pretty well had a feeling that nothing was gonna change.
So last Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, let's just say. So a couple of months ago, I put in a Ring doorbell.
Oh, it's story time.
Yeah, it worked great. But for some reason now, that doesn't the little electronic chime on it goes off, but it doesn't ring the doorbell in the house. Oh, so we really can't hear it. And I don't know why. I've looked at the wiring. It worked once, and then I thought I fixed it. Mm-hmm. I went in the app and made sure that the inside ringer pieces turned on. You turn it on and off and all that stuff. But so the long story longer, the doorbell in our house doesn't ring. So at around 1 a.m. Wednesday morning, we get bang, 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 bang on the door.
What?
Yes.
That is not what you want to wake up to.
You live out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I do.
On purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose.
To avoid this moment.
On a 100-year-old family farm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I jump up, grab the 9mm.
Yeah, I was going to say, guns are flying.
Shelby's looking for the backup pistol. Jack's assembling his trap shotgun. Just in case you ever thought you might want to invade our house. They might not be able to identify the body.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway,
wow.
I hit the front door. I see lights. I'm like, it's law enforcement. I open the door. It's a sheriff's deputy. I'm
They're
like,
coming for me.
I have a pistol in my right hand. He's like, what's Webster County Sheriff? I kind of trust them.
Yeah.
FBI, I don't know.
Yeah.
But so I put the pistol down. Someone has broken into my building in downtown Springfield. Yeah.
In downtown Springfield.
In downtown Springfield. And so they couldn't get a hold of me on the phone because, it's on nighttime. And if you're not on my special list, you don't get to call me in the middle of the night, right?
That's good to know.
So I had to go downtown Springfield. But I texted our good friend Sheriff Roy Cole that morning, and I said, if you enjoy seeing middle-aged men in their boxer shorts, deputy sheriff is a dream job, isn't it?
Sure it is. There's probably a lot of
Because, I jumped out of bed. I didn't put on pants or anything.
I've heard enough.
I was headed for the door.
I don't need to see the police report.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So that happened.
Well, did they do any damage? Or was
Not really. They tried to steal some old computers that were still there. They were ancient.
You pulled most of your stuff out.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody can even do
really
things
much down
with
there.
Computers.
If they vandalized it or something, that would have been disappointing. But they didn't. They didn't even break the windows or anything.
Yeah. So it was a polite break-in.
It was a polite break-in, I suppose. But to top this all off, I had gone to Walgreens yesterday to pick up a prescription and parked and went in the store because I was going to get some other things. I was in there less than 10 minutes. I come out and go, man, somebody's truck just got, oh, that's mine.
Oh,
no.
And there's a big, major door ding on the side of my new truck. So
you have had a crappy 2021.
Not a fan so far.
Well, the good thing is everything else in the world seems to be going right.
Yeah, everything else, no problem.
Sorry you're having a hard time.
Yeah.
Optimism is legendary.
Oh, wow.
So
the coffee's good. That's what I was looking for.
There's my story to kick off your show. Coffee's great from Storytime Coffee. And the coffee cake is back. It's not the strawberry coffee cake. But this is just a regular coffee cake, but it's fantastic.
I looked at that and I kind of started drooling before I came over, and I thought I probably should get that. And I'm like, nah, I'm running late. I probably should go over there.
Sue hooked us up with some new items. Yeah, we've got some.
What are those little Rice Krispie cookies with the Hershey's Kiss in the middle of them?
I haven't even seen
They're
those.
little Rice Krispies with Hershey's Kiss.
Okay,
in the middle of them.
Perfect description.
They're kind of caramely.
I don't have it.
That sounds good.
I walked in yesterday. I looked at I was like, ooh, she's got some new stuff in there.
Ooh, got some new flavor.
Yeah.
Things are exciting.
But I don't eat those things because you know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to kind of lean back up,
I turned 50.
2020 was bad on my diet and health. So
I turned 50 next month. I'm just giving up.
Are you going to have a big 50th birthday party?
No.
Oh, come on. That's a big one. I love a good party. No. I'm all about a good birthday party.
I'll probably have to cook a brisket for myself or something.
Yeah. Well, that's just, you don't monitor yours like Jesse does. Jesse's like,
he's literally right now.
Yeah, he's doing it right now. Yeah. Jesse's like, I'm going to go cook a brisket. 82 hours later, he emerges from the garage in his hunting gear because it's warm, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 pork shoulders, and right now I put them in this morning.
That sounds good.
Which was awesome because I'd had them in a 5-gallon cooler outside for a couple of days brining in this brine that I make, so they have a lot of good flavor. But what was great was at 25 degrees, it was 23 degrees, it's getting colder. This morning, I'm reaching down into the icy brine with my bare hands to pull these pork shoulders out. I'm like, this is cold.
Frozen.
This hurts me.
Guys, I'm so ready for spring.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas is over.
I want the muddy part of our Southwest Missouri spring to be gone because I hate that, but that's my least favorite time of year.
The muddy part?
The muddy
it's
part.
Raining all the time?
It's just
muddy
muddy.
Part.
Everywhere is muddy.
Yeah.
Because I can't go over the range on the back 40 and shoot.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
too muddy.
Just muddy.
Yeah.
But that's part of it.
Well, the past couple of springs, though, we've had, flooding. So,
that's true.
I mean, it's been
extra
extra muddy.
Anymore. We can't get snow anymore, but we get
I really
floods.
want one nice snow.
Right?
My kids have not seen a nice big snow.
I want to go look it up. How many dusting to 1 inches have we had?
A lot.
In the last 2 years. I feel like it's all we get anymore.
The only time we get a decent snow is when they predict flurries. If they predict flurries, you can usually get 6 to 12 inches. Is my experience. But
this is very possible.
But we haven't had that in years.
Huh.
No, it's been since Evelyn. I think it was the winter Evelyn was born. It was the last snowy, cold winter that we had.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Well, we'll get another one. It'll happen.
It'll happen.
Weather.
Because weather.
Because weather.
Because weather happens.
That's where we're at today. We don't want to talk about anything, so we're talking about the weather.
I don't think there's
really nothing to talk about. Right?
No, I don't
nothing
think
has
so.
happened.
Well, no, right. But I'm thinking locally. I do have my meeting coming up a week from tonight. At Lauren's
I plan to
place.
be at that.
Oh, do you? Good. Because you already have a trust. Because we wrote.
Yeah, but I think it's good. Anytime you can get free advice from somebody that's a professional, I'll jump on board with that.
Well, yeah, and there's no reason somebody shouldn't come. I'm not selling anything that night. I mean, you can make an appointment for free to see me later if you want, after we talk, if you got more questions. But I'll answer questions. Just come, find out about estate planning, and don't put it off. It's Tuesday at 6:30 at Lauren's place, and there's links on Facebook to reserve your tickets. Right now, that's not too big of a deal. It's probably about half full right now. So
that's good.
Yeah, there's still room for people to jump in.
When you say Lauren's place, you're talking about the Heritage Post.
Yeah.
Her house.
No,
not my house. Don't go to my house.
Heritage Post, downtown Rogers.
My house is a disaster right now because classically we started a home improvement project, a really dusty one. Mm-hmm. We just kind of wrapped one up and we're like, let's start another.
Why not?
Torture continues.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you said it's a disaster
101
right
North
now.
Mill.
Like, is it right now? Like, my house is always a disaster.
My house is not a disaster.
You keep it in line.
I'm not a neat freak, but clutter makes me crazy.
That is by definition a neat freak.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't have to sterilize everything.
Okay.
So that's a clean freak.
Yeah.
You're not a germaphobe.
I'm not a germaphobe. I'm not like I like my house in order. I like that. No, but I mean it's not ridiculous. But yeah, if the clutter starts getting too, which is easy with little kids, then my anxiety starts rising. I'm just kind of a tidy person.
I don't know why I've been on this train, but I have been in my brain trying to categorize country folk. Like who are country folk? I know this is a total.
Well, I've considered myself a country folk.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I think country folk is kind of a broad category, and then I think within that you've got rednecks.
It is.
Yeah,
you got hillbillies.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a redneck.
There's down home.
I'm a
that
hillbilly.
Doesn't mean you're a hillbilly,
right?
Or a redneck,
right? But then you've got like your West Virginia hillbillies that are different from your Ozark hillbillies.
I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, they're totally different.
There's like Florida hillbillies too, and
is that right?
Oh,
you sure they're not rednecks?
Maybe they're rednecks.
I think they
do.
You go that south, that's redneck.
Florida man.
And you got Texas rednecks and Florida rednecks, different.
Yeah, and you got like cowboys.
Colorado cowboys,
Wyoming
country
cowboys. Folk, or are they cowboys?
Well, I think that all falls into, I think there's an umbrella term of non-city folk.
People who live in rural areas.
And then you've got some subcategories, and I've just been trying to put that together in my brain.
Yeah, because cowboys used to be kind of this catch-all.
Right.
And then you meet a real cowboy who lives on a ranch out in Montana.
Yeah. They're like a different breed.
Yeah. So I've got a friend, he just moved over here about a year ago from Montana.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a church planter. He was wanting to kind of consult and talk about church planting. And when I first, he told me what he did. And I had never met him. So we met over at a restaurant in Mountain Grove. And I didn't know what to look for. So he comes in. And I mean, the tumbleweed music went off.
Like
he's got the real kerchief thing, is what they do with the rag.
Oh, so he's
rag.
like cowboy.
Real cowboy.
Yeah.
Not redneck, not hillbilly. He's a rancher.
Yeah. Well, and there's like these really classy country people too that to me don't fit in that redneck hillbilly category.
All right, describe that. What's the
that might be all hat, no cattle.
All hat, no cattle. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. What is that? I don't know.
They show up at the rodeo looking like a cowboy, but they're not a cowboy.
It's fake.
But they can afford.
Not fake,
but they can shop at PFI.
Because you can be classy country, and this is a weird conversation.
Well, I didn't say any of this isn't classy. I just,
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, anyway, but.
And then you got me, the Metro
redneck
hunter
guy.
As I see that the sun is kind of glistening over my blonde.
Yeah,
it's really hitting it.
Getting your highlights.
The highlights are certainly highlighted at this. I'm in just like the one sunspot over here.
Evelyn asked me if I've been sick. No, Evelyn, I've just been on a hiatus. No, I was out for a couple of weeks because I was on my one family vacation a year that I take, and so that's why I'm back, Evelyn. But thank you for checking on me. I was looking at her questions.
Yeah, I see that.
That's Evelyn. I worked
Evelyn.
with her. That's one of the reasons my Evelyn is named Evelyn.
Oh,
yeah. But no, I'm good. So thank you for checking on me.
And feel free to feed, just hit the feed there with comments like what is a country person?
Yeah, or what flavor are you?
Well, and then there's the really successful, let's say the banker of the small town or something. You know what I mean? That's like still a country person, but they don't really fit any of the stereotypes of your. Rednecks.
I think it's a roots kind of thing too.
Yeah, I do too.
So it's like where you come from.
Yeah, I do too.
So I claim hillbilly all the time. In fact, when I travel, I was in Canada and places. They go, "Where are you from?" I'd be like, "Well, did you ever see the Beverly Hillbillies?" And they'd say, "Well, yeah." I'm like, "Well, we were neighbors before they moved.
Before they went to Hollywood.
Yeah, before they went to out there, Beverly Hills, right?" So like, oh, okay, and it's like it just locks it in for folks. So it's really kind of handy.
I think it's just a rural person thing.
Yeah.
Because I have these city parts about me, but at the end of the day, if you put a gun to my head and say, which one are you going to be in? It's going to be the country.
Well, so I obviously grew up in a small town and was there for 18 years. And then I lived in Springfield for 10 and knew I was never wanted to stay in Springfield. I knew that. And then I've been out in Rogersville, and to me, Rogersville's like the perfect thing because you get the small town feel, but it's close. And there's a little bit better job opportunities close in the area. That's the problem. I'd love to go back and live where I'm from and live out on acreage. Anytime I'm out on really pretty acreage, I get that draw, like it's from your soul that's like, you should be outside.
And,
I
know that.
But then it's like, it's really hard to find jobs there that are good, and it's tricky. Virtually everybody I know that lives in a small town, they kind of do multiple things. Like you don't just have one job that you work, you do several.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
What's that like?
I don't know.
The three of us would know nothing about that, right?
No. I don't know anything about that. Well, that's why it's that spirit that's in us. You don't just go home. You don't just punch the clock and go home and sit down. You got work you got to do.
Yeah.
Got to feed the chickens.
Got to feed the chickens.
I've never known that. I've always wondered, what is that like?
I have no idea.
To just do one thing, to go home and...
I give myself projects when I don't need projects. Hence the home improvement project I'm currently doing.
Hey, you know what I want to know more about? And I meant to talk to you about this last Thursday, but the Friends of the Park stuff that's kicking off.
Yes.
You were talking about needing volunteers. I really want to help. If I can do some more cooking for fundraisers, if you don't have food vendors, I'd love to do that.
Cool.
Some more, but I really want to be involved in that. I think we got a big opportunity right there. It's a good community event, brings a lot of people together. It's a project we can work on together. That's good community building whenever you're working together towards a goal. Mm-hmm. So I'm really glad you're involved with that. But
I'm glad you're not quitting.
Yeah, we hit a point where it was just kind of like so Friends of the Park does 6 farmers markets and a 5K race, and then typically 1 or 2 other events. And those are a lot of events for like 3 to 5 to 6 people to do. And I don't want to call it our board, but our main group has always been consistently about 3 to 5 people. And a lot of people, they think they want to volunteer for stuff, and then they go to a couple meetings and they kind of really don't. Mm-hmm. And it's not that it's not fun. It's that
they got to set their alarm on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, or it's like, I was going to go to the lake, or I had my or it's simple as they want to spend more time with their family, or they work on Saturdays, or whatever. Sure. And I mean, there's a reason that I didn't do hardly any volunteer stuff when I was in Springfield, because my job at the time wouldn't allow it. I mean, there was just no way I could do that. So now that I'm in real estate, I have this more flexible schedule, and even though I'm working more hours, I have more time.
I have a flexible schedule too.
Yeah.
Flexible schedule.
Which just means you work from 11
It just means they stretch
to 1 a.m.
so you can get more in them.
Yeah, yeah, and you're not specifically locked in a room somewhere that you have to be at, but yeah. So we were 2020 was not fun to run events for a lot of reasons. And I think anybody who's organized any events can attest to this. Yes. You had this, probably you too, you had this element of safety concerns, volunteer hesitation, people going to it, hesitation, then the
shaming, hesitation.
You could never do anything right.
Yeah.
No matter what you did. I mean, somebody came up to me and yelled at me because of our setup at the market. I just kind of yelled back at them. And
really, you?
Yeah. I was like, no, you're not going to yell at me. I'm volunteering for this. You're not going to yell at me. And
don't misunderstand my shortness.
Yeah. No,
I have a voice.
There is
you're
a
about
voice,
to hear it.
and it is, yeah. And so there was this real fatigue going into thinking about doing 2021. And so I have this crazy thing where I just try to be really honest with people. Mm-hmm. So if I'm struggling with something, so basically I put a thing out on Facebook that said, hey, if the community wants the market, you're going to have to help.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to help us get vendors. You're going to have to help us run, because our foot traffic really wasn't the problem. The problem has always been attracting vendors to a market that competes with the Springfield markets, because it's the same time. Right. So I just kind of put this really honest, long, that I'm sure nobody read, Facebook post out there that said, I call that transparency. It was very transparent.
And I appreciate that.
Thank you. And a lot of people responded. And so I think there's definitely a want for it. And I'll talk to you guys about this afterwards, because it's not stuff that I can announce yet. But I've had people
get the inside
on the down low. But I've had people contact me, and we had an exceptional meeting last night with 3 of our members, because one of them is on COVID quarantine. And we really hashed some great stuff out. So good stuff's happening. And I'm not going to go crazy. And I'm not going to spend 6 Saturdays of my summer there.
Yeah. Well, and I'm really glad to hear you say that, because 1, it needs to go on. 2, it doesn't need to revolve around Lauren doing all the work. Mm-hmm. You can share this load, and good for you to put it out there to say, I need you to step up.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, I was kind of the organizer of that thing within Friends of the Park, and like, Chris is our Bandit 5K guy, and Amanda's our catch-all person. Right. And then Jeanette, she's one of our vendors, and she's on the crew too, and she's a vendor. So, I mean, you can't volunteer when you're trying to sell a booth at the market. Mm-hmm. So it was really interesting. And one thing I would like to say is we heard over and over feedback that people didn't know about it, and we needed to advertise more. Here's the hang up with something like that. You guys will understand this too. When you're some sort of nonprofit or you're an organization, because we're a fund through Community Foundation of the Ozarks, you have to be really responsible with your spending. Mm-hmm. The problem is Friends of the Park can't go spend thousands of dollars on advertising, because we don't make money off of people shopping at the market. Right. So that's not where our income comes from. So the other charge I'm going to put out there is, if vendors or people, we need you to advertise it for us. Mm-hmm. So we're responsibly spending our dollars, because we have this fund. We have a project in mind. We just got to get we got to get the city on board because it's their property. Yes. So, I mean, it's their decision.
Well, and everybody talks about what a great medium social media is for marketing, and it certainly used to be.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that.
Me too. It might no longer. I've been thinking about what are my alternatives.
I have too. Because for so long, there's been this one place that you could consistently go to. I'm not even going to name it right now. That's how I feel about you right now. I'm not going to name you.
even though
giving you the satisfaction
even though we're broadcasting right now.
Yeah. So, but that is a little spooky because I've been thinking about that from a business owner perspective. That has been the place.
Yeah. Well, and
that seems to be changing.
You know, and for K-ROG, if people are bailing on Facebook, there is a YouTube stream that you can watch there. Of course, YouTube is problematic as well. I don't know that there's unless we develop our own stream, I don't know.
We're not doing that.
Well, that's actually, the exciting thing for me is that the American spirit says there will be something new. And I've been trying. I've been dabbling in some of the other mediums. And am I satisfied? No.
Right.
No, but there will be something else.
Yeah, we could right now if we wanted. We could create our own K-ROG app where people could download the app if we don't get deplatformed, because apparently that's a thing now.
Right.
But and then you could get all your K-ROG content straight from the app. We're not ready to do that.
It's just a big investment, and I mean
it's a big investment. We'd have to have some serious people want to step up and see that happen for Rogersville, and I don't know that that's a deal yet.
But I think it is, and I think we can get it there. I just think we got to be really strategic about it.
Sure.
Is my thought, because you don't want to jump on stuff before it's time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and something we have to consider is, okay, how do we get the message out?
Right.
Because I mean, just the point that I'm ready to get rid of that one entity. I look and people are commenting on my sermon from Sunday and sharing the sermon, and I go, but it's still helpful. It's still useful.
What happens when all of the rational voices voluntarily jump ship? There's nothing left, and so the light shines in the darkness. So my thought is I'm going to stay there until they kick me off.
That's kind of my thing.
Well, I have a responsibility to these organizations. I have a responsibility to my business and my clients, frankly, because people are like, well, where do you have advertised listings? Well, on Facebook is one of the main places. Does that sell houses? Yes, it has.
Yeah.
So if I know there's an outlet that is beneficial to my clients to use to advertise to sell their home, it's my responsibility to use that.
Right.
And so I can't just black that out.
Well, and so those of you that have tried to use social media for marketing like I have, you have to have run into the same frustration that I do, which is you post your event, you post your item out there, and you get like 100 and 200 of your friends click like, and you just go, thanks for nothing.
Will's rant. This is a sore subject.
It kind of is a sore subject. I mean, it's like, okay, I appreciate that you clicked like, but that you did nothing to help me.
See, I do disagree with this on one level.
Yeah.
Here's why. Because to me, when you're scrolling through Facebook and you see a post that has a significant amount of likes, you tend to be drawn more to look at that
and
post.
the algorithms pop it up more with
That's
more
true.
likes.
I feel like this is true.
You could click share.
Share is better.
And that'd be really help. That would really help.
That'd be really helpful.
Awesome. So if you see posts about the farmer's market, and you're like, I don't know why the word isn't getting out. My question would be, have you ever clicked share? Have you shared the post? Like, I will never be one of those people that says, please like and share this post, because that's if I see that, it's a guarantee that I won't. So I sort of have this tension.
That's funny.
It's your standards.
I know. I feel the same way because I hate
any of that.
I love transparency. I love authenticity.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big
catering for shares, especially in my world, is church is like, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
Well, it's not about me. It's about Jesus. But hey, look at me.
Right.
It's this weird
yes.
thing.
So I mean, if your friend opens a new business, share their posts. If you're running a sale, if somebody's church is having a great event that you think the community should share the post.
Share the
or
post.
here's something weird, just like tell people about it.
Tell people about it, like face to face.
Hey.
If you're still on Facebook or whatever platform, share.
Well, that was one kind of line I used in a lot of the Friends of the Park stuff is like, tell your friends, invite your neighbor, bring your family, because You know, typically I'm a lot more apt to show up to something if someone's like, "Hey, Lauren, would you come?" Or "I want you to," or "I'm doing this fun event, come." Right. And I'd be like, "Well, yeah, if you personally asked me to come to something, I'm going to show up if I can."
Yeah, and there's some pretty interesting statistics out there about a personal invite versus, a social media share.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the blending the two, however, is not good. And so I was at a group. It was not intentionally a networking group. It sort of turned into that, but it was okay because it was organic.
Yeah.
And so somebody had asked me, said, "Can you talk about social media marketing?" This is like 3 years ago. And for like 5 minutes, I just did just what I just said to you guys. I said, "Listen, you need to understand how the algorithm works. Clicking like is nice, but you really didn't help them. If you want to help them, you got to click share." And so I went on this. Talked about all that, and it was very friendly and everything. And somebody else said, "Yeah, and the best way to do it is to tag all your friends in your post."
No.
And I was like, "No, that's called spam,
and
that will get
lose your friends.
That will get you blocked from my friend list if you ever do that to me.
Do not do that.
That is how you lose your friends.
Tag people if you feel like they're interested in the topic, or like somebody's like, "Hey, when's
or
farmers
directly
market?"
involved.
Well, if they're involved in it.
If I'm on your board, tag me.
So there was a martial arts guy in Springfield that every time he hosted a tournament, which my organization is not a part of, he would always tag me like I was involved in his event because I've got 4,000 social media followers. And he's trying to get my people. Yeah. And I finally told him, I said, Don't
tag me, bro. Don't tag me, bro.
Don't tag me, bro.
I'll show you what tag looks like.
Pow.
It might have been a good fight. He's a black belt too, so
he actually knows martial arts. I'm over here like.
But don't do that. Don't do that.
One thing came up recently in a situation with us, and it wasn't personally to us, but someone we know posted about it. Someone didn't know someone, and they friend them on Facebook, and then started messaging them. Yeah. Kind of very pointedly asking them for business. Don't be creepy.
No.
Don't stalk people. Another thing I've seen recently is like I don't know if they're even realtors, but people will drive by and take these sketchy looking pictures of houses and then send that to the person on a postcard that says, "If you're interested in selling your house, contact me." It's creepy.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's marketing, and then there's stalking.
Yeah.
There's light stalking. Just be respectful.
Light stalking.
We haven't even gotten into trolling yet. But.
No. If the only way you can get attention is by commenting snarkily on my posts, you need to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
You need to get your own.
Weird thing that's been happening on my Facebook feed. Okay. So I'm scrolling through the feed, and it shows me so-and-so commented on this post, and this post is from a business or organization that I do not follow, that someone I am friends with commented on. Weirdly enough, these comments seem to fall a very certain way, and it's like the same category of type of comment. So for some reason, Facebook is showing me, and this is weird, I don't know why, people commenting on businesses or whatever that I have no affiliation or like to about a very specific topics. It's really weird.
Maybe the topic that's
the topic is opposite of what I tend to look at and think about. So it's kind of a weird deal. I wondered if anybody else had that happening in their timeline.
I can't think.
It's very strange. I'll try to show you an example at some point. It's weird.
Yeah. So did we? Just another random. And did we ever find anything about the truck that did the damage to the landscaping?
They're looking, I think. That was a bad deal.
I don't know if we made any progress on that.
Sometimes there's vandalism.
Maybe like RCSI.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of
I was out there
Ring
checking the tire
stuff.
track. Those aren't Michelin.
There was
taking some soil samples.
Yeah. Sometimes things are kind of innocent. I don't know. I call it kind of innocent, stupid kid vandalism stuff. And, I stole some road signs when I was in high school, I think. And, I never would tear up anybody's yard or egg anybody's house or do anything like that.
You had your limit.
I had my standards. And, but, every kid does something like that at some point. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know, Lauren.
Yeah. Again, whatever. Those trees... there were some trees that got knocked down by a truck that had just been planted. And that person that knocked them down didn't really know what was really going on behind those trees. They weren't just trees that somebody put in the ground because they had extra trees lying around.
So here's the deal. And this is what you do, y'all. Hey, let me help you here. I'm scrolling and I see that post. Yeah. And my blood boils, right?
Yeah, I got so mad.
So I've got 2 17-year-old boys in my house. Right, twin boys. And so I said, boys, come over here. Look at this. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what happened here? Like, I want them to see this seemed like a fun moment. Hey, let's run those things over, because at the time when you're
snowy,
17, you're just out having a good time. Now I'm filling in the backstory. A friend of mine and her kids went out and planted these trees.
All day long.
All day. I said,
all
can you
day
imagine, long. What that's like? Can you imagine them showing up and seeing those things knocked down? And so that's our responsibility. Teach our kids, take those moments and say, look, this is more than just a moment of stupidity.
It's more than just a tree that got knocked down.
And think about the greater impact of that lesson, because you talk about somebody that spent a day building something and it took 5 seconds to destroy it.
Yeah.
You look at our country today,
and
you've got 250 years of people working hard and building something, and it's taken 6 months, and we're destroying it. Well, and it's always easier to be the critic and the destroyer than it is to be the builder. And we have a country full of critics that are tearing things down, tearing things up, destroying things, because it's so much easier to be the critic than it is to build. And the problem is going to have, okay, fine, you're successful with your critical theory and criticizing and destroying everything. Now what are you going to do? And I think you said this before, Chris. You said, they may be asking a lot of good questions, but they provide no answers.
Yeah, that's the problem with critical theory. It's all deconstructionism. It never reconstructs anything.
Yeah.
So it's just problem, shame, but no reconstruction of something better.
And there's nothing wrong with looking at something good and great, like American capitalism and a republic constitution, saying there are some problems there.
Let's address
and we need to
work
on that.
There's problems with
everything. But to just plant C4 at the base and say we're going to just blow the whole thing up and then see what happens, which is really the only answer we were getting, is not helpful.
No, it's not.
In the least. Yeah.
It's not. And, that's pretty, that's probably John.
Pope.
Reveal your identity, Pope.
Yeah. And,
don't be hiding behind the logo.
But you guys hit the nail on the head. I mean, I obviously couldn't have said it that way, and
you got a preacher and a lawyer.
I know.
Words. We got words.
I felt like I was sitting between two smart people right there. But and there was just so much depth and to that, and it even goes beyond the day that they planted those trees. And if somebody was set down and told the whole story, they would understand. And on top of that, while they were planting those trees, 6 different people from the neighborhood stopped to tell them thank you. Thank you for planting trees. Thank you for providing something that's not there, because it's a new neighborhood. And so there might be 1 or 2 trees in someone's front yard. And the depth of that, I was on vacation when I got that message, or I think JR posted on Rogersville Residence, because he lives in that neighborhood. And my blood boiled. And I'm just like, dang it. And to me, it seems like there's been a lot of kind of weird petty theft and stuff around Rogersville right now. I've heard several instances of that.
People are
bored and it's cold and they get angry. And so make sure you're locking your doors and, not leaving things outside, because that stuff ebbs and flows. And usually it's kind of one party, especially in a small town. You get a couple ornery people.
Well, that was what was fun about having the sheriff on here.
Yeah.
He's like, when something's going on, we just look at the list and go, well, they're in prison, they're in jail. It must be that guy.
Larry's not,
Process of elimination.
Yeah.
We know who the thieves are. We'll just see which ones are not in prison.
It was funny because Roy messaged me.
Pretty simple.
Roy messaged me and he was like, when I was on the show and Tom asked if Christmas was going to be busy or not, he's like, oh, it was.
Pope says it wasn't him.
Part 2.
Oh, no.
Oh, Pope, it was him.
Now we have somebody.
Emma.
Oh, my gosh.
Look, I'm tired of Pope getting all the credit. Yeah, it's Emma. Emma will teach you how to fix that, so you don't have to comment as K-ROG. You can comment as yourself. There's a little button.
We'll have a tech class.
The button works 100% of the time on your desktop. sometimes on your phone.
It's harder to find on the phone. That's
yeah,
for sure. Sometimes it's not always there.
Thanks,
Emma, for the positivity. We appreciate
Emma's
that.
very positive.
Yeah.
Emma's a very positive
And Emma
person.
knows because she does a lot of social media, and so I'm sure she's experienced the frustration of people just liking and not sharing.
Yeah, and hers especially social media combined with rural internet.
Yeah, and I would love to say that's your standard for social media usage. Stay positive.
Stay positive.
But there will still be a troll that will try to make your positive post negative. So it's just the way it works.
Yeah.
I just delete those comments because, when you're given the power to manage something, just use it. Delete them.
Well, and I'm of two minds of that because if it's my post, I tend to try. If people comment, I tend to not even reply because I've got 4,600 Facebook friends.
Yeah,
and a lot of them think like me, and I can use if I give it an hour or two, I can usually count on one of my friends to pile on and destroy them.
That's the deal. It's I never feel like I have to get in the argument.
I got friends.
I have a large variety of friends. I mean, for a pastor, you think, well, they're probably all Christians. No, they're not.
I watch your comments on your posts a lot, and it's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah,
it is because they
try to be friends with everybody.
Well, I mean, and you take a lot of heat for things sometimes.
It doesn't bother me.
I know.
I don't have to take it personally.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me because it's just like, well, you're under the microscope when you're a pastor, and it's just interesting. So
I'm just glad. I told you this the other day. I'm just glad that I'm not one of the Old Testament prophets because they got all the hate, and then they got killed at the end. So I'm just a modern day pastor. I can take some Facebook flack.
Yeah, no kidding.
Shauna says she likes the idea of a Rogersville platform.
Yeah,
I'd love to see us on our own platform. It's just it's a process and funds to get there.
Yeah,
I think Elon Musk is going to build us something. You read something
maybe
about that?
Probably.
Maybe. Can you?
Once he
I
gets
can
that
see
internet
Elon
thing
Musk and Donald Trump teaming up.
Would not surprise me one bit.
The only problem is
Weird.
does that then
I hadn't
create
even thought about
the
that.
anti-prophet for the antichrist if that was to happen?
I don't even know what that creates.
Sounds like
I keep my eye on this. I'm a little jaded. I like Trump. I like the things he's done, but I'm like, he could be the antichrist. You never know.
You just don't know.
I withhold judgment.
I don't even know what I think. I've just completely lost the ability to comprehend what is going on. I have this old school, if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all.
What?
And try. Tell
me about this new thought.
Try
what is this new thing you have?
I mean, I just feel like you're supposed to be polite and thoughtful until there's a reason to not be. And it's okay to, fight when something's worth fighting for. Last night I watched 1917, that movie about World War I. Have you guys not seen it?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds amazing.
Sounds good.
It was it was really good. And I'm also been listening to an audiobook about World War II. And when I watch and hear this stuff, I'm like, we don't have real problems. We're creating problems.
Oh, yeah. So, Lauren, Chris, if people were to take all of the time and energy and emotional and mental energy that they're spending on national politics that they can't do a darn thing about, and focused it right here in their community in Rogersville, I think something pretty amazing could happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Get off your keyboard and show up for Friends of the Park or a council meeting or Chamber of Commerce is today at 11.
Yeah, I'm going to go to that.
11:30? What time?
11:45. Yeah.
11:45.
At Samuel Cedars, yep.
Yeah, I just remember one time I showed up at 11:15. Lori's like,
hey, guy.
So I'm setting up tables.
I'm the opposite. I'm the guy that shows up at noon going,
I thought it was at 11:15. I just got it messed up in my head.
I have given myself a personal goal. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I've given myself a personal goal, and I started this yesterday, to sit down and meet with people when I have a question that I want to ask them. Instead of waiting for a time I run into them to ask them, I'm just going to start inviting them to my office or going to them or whatever. And I had a great conversation with somebody yesterday that I'd wanted to ask questions of for a long time, and I just had never really had the opportunity.
It sounds like a podcast.
It does.
Lauren's podcast.
Lauren does not need anything
Lauren
else
sits
to
down
do.
And talks with real life people.
Let me ask you, because I like to know what's going on.
Really?
I'm kind of nosy, I guess. Am I nosy?
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I'm kind of nosy. So,
you're a go-getter.
I'm a go-getter. I'm nosy. It's fine.
Concerned citizen. Community organizer.
Speaking of sitting down and talking to people, I'm getting ready to go sit down for a 8:30 meeting that's in 3 minutes. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did good.
I got a 9 o'clock.
With a calmer, wiser man that doesn't get riled by
Oh,
things like this. So I'm just kind of looking forward to somebody who has some sanity. So
that's good. Sanity's good. So I'll push that on everybody else. If you have questions or your concerns, sit down and invite the person to lunch or talk to them, whatever.
Well, and
find out what's going on.
Plenty of opportunities to get involved. You know, you can get involved with K-ROG. This is not a closed group by any
they
means.
let me in.
We got some rules, but they're
loose.
They're pretty loose.
They're bare minimum.
Yeah.
They're like, don't be a creep.
Yeah. Don't be a weirdo.
Don't be a weirdo.
Don't embarrass yourself, us,
Yeah.
or our community, or anybody else as best as possible. You can embarrass yourself, but that's it. But yeah, you know, get involved in K-ROG. We've always got people going, hey, we'd love to see this broadcast. And we're like, great, you got a phone? Yeah. Do it, make it happen.
I'd like to say the studio does not look like a dorm room today, too, so that's nice.
Yeah,
it's all cleaned up and tidy.
Did you do that, Lauren?
No, I think it was Tom.
I was Tom.
I think it was Tom. He
Tom
did a
was
great job.
saying he walks through and he's just like, he has these fits until he can get to his office.
Yeah.
Then it's his mess and he's cool with it.
Yeah.
No, it looks nice in here.
It does look a lot better. It was getting there because everybody's bringing their stuff in and the wires were everywhere, but it has been. It is.
Look snazzy.
I'm missing the little gray piece that goes on my tripod there. I don't know where that went to. The attachment, the bottom of the camera attachment that makes it hook to the tripod. I was looking for that the other day.
I gotta get.
Okay, you gotta go.
I
gotta
better
go
go.
too. We're all
See you,
gonna go.
Bye.
See you, Rogersville. Thanks
We
for
love you.
watching. Bye.